Hello everyone, welcome back to the next video. In this video I will show you how to create an iOS plugin to extract text from images in Godot game engine. So basically, like, we will be scanning a document to extract the text from a document. So let's get started. We will be making use of Swift Godot. As usual, you would require macOS for this, and you would require Xcode installed from Apple App Store. I have already installed it. I have already also created one empty folder named Godot. You can name it whatever you feel like. Even if you don't create this is fine. It's just that by the end of this tutorial we will be having 3 different projects. That's why I have created a parent folder for this. So also, based on this documentation which you are seeing, this one, I have just created one cheat sheet which I will be following. So yeah, just open Xcode, click on File, New, Package, and here you can select multi-platform, select library, click next, and here you can give it whatever name you feel like, but I'll just keep it as my library. If you are doing this for the very first time, it's better you do what I'm doing, because this name will be used in lot other places as well. But if you want to name it differently, yeah, you can do that. So I'll just click on create. Next, in the documentation it says that we have to add this bit of code. So if you go through the documentation as well, here you can see they tell us to add this. So just open package.swift and you just have to paste this over here and just press Command S. So it will automatically download the Swift Godot dependency for you using Swift Package Manager. We don't have to do anything. So here you can see it has downloaded it for me. Once that is done, we have to add this platform iOS version 17. So minimum deployment I have kept it as 17. Here you can see they have mentioned it as macOS, but we require iOS. For lower Android versions I was facing issues with Swift Godot, that's why I've kept it as 17. Then we also need to add this type dynamic as well. So here you can see inside library name, after library name we have to add this type dynamic. Then we need to add this dependency thing as well, dependency array. So again, if you go to the documentation, here you can see after target name we have to add it. So after target name I'll just add a comma and I'll paste it over here, and I will just do Command A and Control I. So to improve the indentation a little bit, you don't have to do it. Then at the time of me recording this video, Swift Godot still does not support Swift version 6, because Swift version 6 introduces lot of concurrency things. So I'll just change this version from 6.0 to 5.10, but you should check if Swift Godot already supports Swift version 6 and above. If yes, then you don't have to do this whenever you watch this video. Then you just have to go to my library, open this particular Swift file. Now as usual I will cheat a little bit because I already have this code written. So I'll just open this particular file from my old project. I'll copy everything and then I'll explain it to you. So first we are importing UIKit as well as Swift Godot. We are also importing Vision and Vision Kit. Then here we have created a separate class which extends this VN document camera view controller delegate. We can't directly extend this delegate to this main class over here because of Swift Godot does not allow this, that's why. Then inside this particular document camera delegate I have created 3 callback: on finish with scan, on cancel, and on fail with error. And these 3 methods which you are seeing, we are overriding it from VN document camera view controller delegate. So for the first method, did finish with scan, we call on finish with scan callback. For second method we call this on cancel, and for third method we call on fail with error as well. Now the next thing which you are seeing over here, this is boilerplate code from Swift Godot which we have to write. Now this should be your own library name. Then here we have created another class which has annotated with @main actor as well as @Godot, and we are extending from ref counted. Here I have also created one signal. So with the help of that we will be sending the extracted text from a native iOS side to Godot side. If you want to send some error messages as well, like for on cancel, on fail with error, you can maybe create different signals as well if you feel like. Then we just initialize our document camera delegate inside the init method. So these are both used, and we just set up our delegates as with the help of task using main actor. And here we just set up delegates as well. So on finish with scan, once the page has been scanned, we just get hold of a root view controller, we dismiss the camera, and then we try to So I'll come back to this commented code later on, but here we just create this vn recognize text request. Then we create an observations out of it. We just loop over the observations, and whatever best candidate we get, we send this data back to uh, iOS side. Now this will get emitted multiple number of times even though you have one document. So be careful, like you will not get one entire string in one go, you will get chunks of string. So yeah, be careful with that. Then here we just create an array of request, and on user initiated thread, we just here I have hard coded 0 because I'm only interested in one image or one scan document. But if you are interested in multiple scan documents, then you will have to make use of this for loop, something like that. And for each image which you get, you have to pass that particular image and pass it as a request, like handler.perform request. But just to keep things simple, that's why I've hard coded this as 0. Okay, you don't need this, I'll just remove this. And on cancel again, I'm just using the same signal to send the message, but maybe you can use a different one. Then again we get hold of our root view controller and dismiss the camera. Similarly on fail with error as well, I will send a signal and I dismiss our camera. Then here is the method which annotated with @callable, so that it can be called from Godot side as well with the help of GD script. We again get hold of our root view controller. Then we create this vn document camera view controller, set the delegate to it, and then just do root view controller dot present vc animated as true. Now again we don't require all this, sorry about this, so I can just delete this. So yeah, that's all we require. uh, Next thing which we have to do is we have to create a build.sh file. If you're seeing a lot of errors in this particular file, ignore that. Swift Godot does not play nicely with export, that's why we are getting all this error. Now to create this build.sh file, what I'll do is I'll just remove my cheat sheet and I'll open the Godot folder inside VS Code itself. And here if you want to create the build.sh file from Xcode, you can do that. I'm more comfortable creating it from VS Code. Also I'll just paste my cheat sheet as well. So inside your library you just have to create this build.sh file. Feel free to use whatever IDE you feel like, and then over here we just have to copy this particular link and open it in a new tab. And from this particular link we just have to copy this entire thing, and we have to just paste it over here. Then again just scroll up at the top, and here you will have to replace it with your own library name. So in my case it is just my library. And we need to also add this dash skip macro validation slash. Okay, so I will just add it after this particular thing, and I'll just do command s to save it as well. Okay, so yeah, that's it. Next we can just cd to this library wherever you have created. So I will just cd to it. Okay, then I'll just run this particular command. Once I run this, I need to run this command. Now I'm not planning to deploy this app to Apple App Store, so I'm okay with a debug framework as well. But in your case, if you are planning to deploy to Apple App Store, you will have to replace the word debug with release. That's the only thing you will have to do. But for me debug is fine, so I'll just click enter. Now this will take a little bit of time, so let it do its thing. In the meantime we can just open Godot game engine. At the time of recording this video I'm using Godot 4.3.0, but I don't think there will be any breaking changes in the future for higher version of Godot. So I'll just create one project. I'll just browse to the downloads folder where I have created the main Godot folder. I'll click that folder and I'll just name it as my Godot project. I'll click on create and edit. Then I'll just click on project, export, add iOS, click on this fix import. You have to enter your app store team ID. I'll enter mine later on, but make sure you enter it now only. To get your app store team ID, you can just go to this particular URL which will help you to guide on how to get your app store team ID. Now again scroll down, and here you have to enter your bundle identifier. Typically it is com dot your company name dot your app name, so I'll enter something random for now. I'll close this. I'll create a 2D scene, and here I will just create one button to open the camera to scan document, and one label as well. Okay, here I create one label. So here for button you can just give some text, open or scan, whatever you feel like. I'll save this as well, and I'll just change the font size for our text to 40. Okay, and I'll just expand this text a little bit. Then I'll just attach one script to this particular thing as well, and then I will just drag and drop this particular label to get hold of it. I'll have this button, and I will add this press signal as well. Okay, then again I'll just cheat a little bit. I'll just go to my old project which I have created, and from that I'll just copy everything. My Godot project, just open this. So first we have to create this particular variable called my library. Okay, then here inside ready we have to initialize it. So I'll just copy paste this bit of code as well. So here we just initialize it. Again, this should be our own library name as well as this one, and here we are connecting our signal. Now once a signal has been sent, we just this method will get called, so we need to create this method. So here you can see I have just created this method. Now be careful, like while assigning the text, like I said it sends chunks of data, so that's why I'm doing label.text equal to whatever data is first present inside our label, then append it to that whatever new data we get. So that's why I'm doing this particular trick. And on the button press we just have to do this particular thing, right? And just open the scan method, like just call the scan method which we have created. Now inside our Godot project we have to create one bin folder. So you can just right click, new folder, bin, and inside this bin folder I need to create one file. Now I don't want a text file, I want to create a .gd extension file. That's why again I'll just use VS Code. I'll go back to my Godot project, I'll go to the bin folder, and here I'll just, again it should be our own library name, .gd extension. And here as you can see I'll just need to copy some code, so I'll just copy this code. Now again this file is not I'm not able to open this file from Godot game engine, I don't know why, at least in 4.3.0. so I'll just open it via VS Code and I'll just paste this particular bit of code. Again you will have to replace debug with release if you have generated the release framework. So I'll just close this for now, and here you can see our terminal has also created the required framework files. So again I'll just go back to my project, go to library, go to bin, go to iOS, and you have to copy these two .framework folders. Just go back, go to Godot project, go to bin, and you just have to paste it over here. Now again I'll just go back and I'll create one iOS folder as well. You can name it whatever you feel like. It's just that once we export the iOS project from Godot game engine, it will create a lot of files. That's why I'm creating a separate folder for this. So here you can see as usual, come back to project, export, export project, and here you have to go to the iOS folder and just click on save. Now this will take little bit of time, so just be patient. Alright, so as you can see my project has been exported successfully. Then you just have to go to the iOS folder over here, double click on this .xcode proj file, it will automatically open it for you in Xcode. Now one thing which I want to mention, if you go to the supporting files and if you right click on this file, open as source code, at least at the time of Godot 4.3.0, when we export a project, it automatically adds this camera usage description permission. This is necessary for scanning documents and extracting the text out of it, but in future they might decide to remove this. If yes, then you will have to add this manually. This name should be as it is, and inside the string you can specify why you want this permission to extract text. You can write something like this, you can write in a better way, extract text from scanned documents. Okay, also make sure you run this output on a real device, it will not work on a simulator. So I have ran the output, let's just wait. Okay, I think, oh, I did a silly mistake, I didn't set the root scene, so I have to do that again. So what I'll do, I'll just run this from Godot game engine, so it will select the root scene for us. Okay, so hopefully you didn't forget that. So I can just close this now. This is fine because we are running this inside Mac OS. This is this particular framework is for iOS, so there, that error you can ignore. Then again, you have to do project export project, and just click on this iOS, and it will override, so I'll just click on OK. So yeah, let's just wait. And I want to use version on disk, so I'll just wait for this to finish, and I'll run this project and show you guys the output. Okay, so here is the output. To run it, you just have to press this particular icon. Now I have the output ready. I'll just click on this open button. It is asking me for camera permission. I'll click on allow, and I'll just move it little bit, and I'll just show you what document I'm trying to scan. So this is the document. You can scan whatever document you feel like. So I'll just hold my camera near this. It will automatically scan it for me, so it has automatically scanned. Okay, and you have to click on this save option, which is by default present. And here you can see it has tried to read this government of India, then 1L road. Like, it is not 100% accurate, but it tries to do best. Even this image is not that great, but I feel like it did what it could. So yeah, that's how it works. Sometimes it might give you good results, sometimes it might not. So just be careful. Like, you have the option to, like, when you click on open, you have the option to like choose how much part of the image you want it to be, but I don't want to get into that. That is by default present. But yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. Bye.